Hey everyone, Michael Short here. Come on, let's go outdoors. Well, I don't know about you, but maybe you've got some time on your hand and you'd like to go out and do a little bit of fishing. Can't think of anyone better to talk about fishing the Bow River than Mike Robertson. He is the man behind the Bow River blog. Mike, thanks so much for taking a little bit of time and chatting with us today.
Thank you so much, Michael. It's awesome to be here.
Talk a little bit about fishing on the Bow River during the winter. Is it something a lot
Sure.
of folks do?
Yeah, it's popular, especially with the weather we've been having right now, Michael. Like unbelievable Chinook weather, +5, +7, +10. Sometimes windy, but mostly calm. We're getting very, very minimal snow, which is nice. Depending on how you look at it or what industry you're in. Um, so yeah, lately we've been fishing the Bow River like crazy and absolutely doing very, very well, both with the big browns, big, huge browns in the winter, Michael, and also you can get some super hungry rainbows too. So
Now, are you
Mhm.
predominantly fishing from shore or are you out on your boat?
All fishing from shore. I put the boat away end of November. We winterized it. She's done. So now we're exclusively shore fishing, inner city, deep holes, places where is 10, 5, 7, 10, 12 feet deep, which is what we call an overwintering hole. So that's where you're going to find the most conglomeration of fish sitting in one area is in those big, deep overwintering holes.
Of course, you are fishing moving water, so hitting those holes is one thing, but getting your lure down into that
Mhm.
pocket, how do you achieve that?
Well, that's a technique all on its own, Michael. So we're using heavy duty lures, which I obviously have my own brand of lures right now. So we're using lately. It's been this. It's a green lure with a hot orange pink underbelly. This is 14.5 grams. So you spoke about moving water, and these overwintering holes are really deep. So you need, number one, you need to get the lure down by like letting it fall. So 14.5 grams lets that lure sink very fast before it goes past the strike zone, right? So you're casting up the river, let it drop, short little uplifts on the rod, reeling the slack line, uplift, reeling, and that's where we're getting the fish. The color of the lure, um, you get a lot of light penetration, but you don't get a lot of light penetration very deep down into the hole. So that's why that green, specifically that green lure, has been absolutely crushing brown trout lately.
Are you looking for specifics in terms of where, and I'm not asking you to give up your secrets here, Mike, in
Mhm.
any way, but for someone that might be getting out onto the river or on the bank for the first time, how do they recognize where a hole might be? What are some of the characteristics to the water that they
Yeah.
can maybe key in on?
You do your research, you do your homework. So you go, okay, there's a high cliff wall, that should be deep water. Okay, there's another. Google Earth's a very, very cool tool to use before you go fishing anywhere. You see all these high cliff walls, and normally when you see that, you'll have a big deep hole beneath those high cliff walls. Bridge structures, another point of interest to target. We call it points of interest. Bridge structures where they've dug the pylons, the pilings down really deep. That would be another point of interest, or where kind of two rivers, one little side channel meets a deep part of the water. That would be another great spot for deeper water. Let's say 5 to 10 feet deep, right? Because inner city, remember the inner city in Calgary, it doesn't completely freeze over from bank to bank because we have three water treatment facilities in Calgary pumping out chemicals into the river, right? Further down the river, like say from Policeman's Flats southeast, that will freeze over completely.
In terms of the presentation, Mike, again, and notwithstanding that you are fishing open water, I guess,
Yep.
is the take gentle or are the fish still pretty aggressive?
Oh yeah, aggressive. But the speed is what will get you your most fish, because it's still cold water, right? So, fish are dependent on water temperature. When the water warms up to a certain point, they'll feed, right? So, excuse me, really cold water, so your presentation must be slowed down. It has to be slow. So I let it drop, I flick it up, because there's not a lot of current right now, Michael. It's not like raging 250 cubic centimeter water. It's slow, gentle water when you're fishing those deep holes, right? So you want to let the lure sink down quite a bit. You can even make bottom contact with the lure just to, kind of like, whoa, something's going on here, get the fish's attention. And then it's like I say, just lifting the rod tip up with your wrist. Not, I see guys, do the whole arm. For me, it's just my wrist. And then I reel in this, and then I lift it up again, and then I let the lure sink and fall. It looks like a wounded bait fish, and the takes like you'll see pictures, you'll see some videos. It's incredible. You get big hits like that, right? So you get smashed, I guess you would say.
In terms of the bow, Mike, it's been a story over the last couple of years, especially during the summer. We've had low water flows, that type of thing.
Yep.
In I mean, obviously, we all love to be out angling in the summer, and especially on that Blue Ribbon stream or river, I should say. But are you finding the fishing is actually better in the winter? It our condition, sure, it's chilly and all the rest of it, but is the fishing as good as you would find in the summer?
Yeah, or better, because you're getting bigger, hungrier fish. See, that's the thing. People, they exclude the winter. They go ice fishing. They don't really think of the Bow River. It's kind of put on the back burner till spring, summer, fall kind of thing. But the winter time is when you get the biggest, hungriest fish, and you can get the most of them at that point in time because the bug life just almost disappears, right? You get no caddis flies, you get no grasshoppers, you're getting no, big kind of huge bugs that these big fish want to feed on. You're getting small little midges or, larvae even. They're eating larvae. So when they see a big minnow, yummy, juicy meal, like some of the lures I have are 4.7 inches, guys look at me like, what? That's a pike lure. Yeah, it is a pike lure, but it also entices big, huge fish. So that's another kind of tip to your followers and your family is don't be scared to use a 4.7, a 5 inch, bait in a river system where the food source is depleted, and those big, big hungry, especially the browns, those big, big hungry browns will come up and take a 5 inch bait, no problem. No problem.
What kind of regulations at this time of year we need to be aware of?
Regulations on the bow, they changed that a couple, 2 3 years back, so it's open all year. Trout limit 0, so from the Bow Glacier all the way down to the Bassano Dam, open all year, 0 trout limit, no bait allowed. So you can fish it all 4 seasons of the year, and obviously in the winter you're going to have to take some safety precautions. um Even wearing a life jacket, like, I know it kind of looks, we're not out there to look cool. We wear things that don't really look cool, but if you fall into that cold water and it's deep and you got waders on, or you have a backpack on, something that's going to weight you down or something like that, just having a life jacket or even those PFD vests, you can wear where they self-inflate kind of thing, that's super important.
And yeah, I mean, I guess this year you're not having to deal with ice flows, at least not at this point, but walking out onto an extended ice shelf and
Yeah.
fishing from that could create some very serious conditions and probably not advisable. Stay on the bank proper, right?
Yep, exactly. Even like you don't know what's underneath unless you really know it's, ankle deep or whatever. I will never go onto an ice shelf because I value my life more than I value a 29, 30 inch brown trout. It's just that simple, right? Same with ice fishing. When there's 3 inches of ice, just not recommended to go. Like, your life is worth way more than any fish anywhere, anytime. So I stay planted on the shore. I make sure I fish where I can get my net where it's reachable. So I'm not, it's not complicated to land the fish. That's the other thing you got to think about. I fished Boxing Day And we've had some cold weather overnight. It's been -11 for the past 4 evenings, 5 evenings in a row. And all that ice that flows down the river, it sticks to the bank and creates those ice shelves that you're talking about, right? So I didn't purposely fish down where I couldn't even reach the fish, or where one would have had to drag the fish over that ice to get it. That's just harming the fish. So I stayed up higher in the hole where I could actually get my net into the river and scoop the fish up. So,
And in term, we've talked about it a few times, Mike. You've shown us the lures. Those were developed. You developed those what, maybe 2 seasons ago? Am I correct in thinking
yep,
about that? And
yep,
so, if folks are interested, I know you've had troubles getting them into local angling shops, which is kind of baffling, but I guess they have their reasons. So you're a direct distributor of your own designs. How do
yep.
folks get something from you?
Yeah, I built an e-commerce website, Michael. So it's the website address is www.robertson.com. So everything's available on the website. It takes all kinds of payment methods, PayPal, credit cards, bank cards, Google Pay. I set it up where everybody can, basically it's easy for people to buy the stuff. I ship it out myself, so I take it to the post office as soon as I see the lure order come in. I go to the post office. Shipping and handling in Canada is fairly decent. It's $17 express shipping. You get the lures within a couple days, right? So, if you order something on a Monday afternoon or Monday evening, you'll have it by Wednesday for sure.
And of course, Mike, I guess it's never too early to think about the summer, and if somebody would like to get out on your boat and spend an afternoon or a day with you,
Yep.
how do they go about organizing that?
Yep. You can come onto my blog. It's www.bowriverblog.com. There's a header at the very top of the page. It says guided Bow River jet boat trips. You can click on that, and then it has a contact form. You just fill out the form. You let me know your number. I get a hold of you that way. We book a trip for you. We set a time, set a date, get a deposit, and then yeah, we're fishing the Bow River on my jet boat. So yeah, I appreciate the shout out for the Bow River blog guided fishing trips as well, Michael. Thank you.
All right, Mike, we will leave it there. Continued success for fishing this winter, and of course, great success for you in the upcoming summer season out on the river.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much.